Hey folks, welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Justin Riley and we have a terrific show for you today. And my first guest is going to talk to us all about the importance and the fun of having a paintball session at Apocalypse Paintball. I'm joined now by Adam Gebert. Welcome, Adam.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here, my friend.
Pleasure to be here.
So, of course, the big question is why play at Apocalypse?
Apocalypse Paintball, we have 50 acres to play on. We have 14 fields, different size fields, different levels of competition fields, professional staff.
14?
Why wouldn't you?
Right, yeah, why wouldn't you is the better question. 14 different
Okay, we have
fields.
a tower field, we got a castle field, we got different speedball courses, we got an airball course. We're always developing and building new fields every year.
Really? So it's something that's continually growing then?
Always.
Wow. Wow.
And the customers keep coming.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you guys been open now?
23 years, and I've been doing this 21 years.
Oh, wow.
And I like it. I never thought I'd get into it.
Sure.
My friend was like, come on out here. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it stuck.
Yeah.
I started messing around with the owner.
Here you are,
He was
21 years later.
Looking for refs? Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Be here at 8 o'clock on Saturday. Well, okay, I'll be here.
Congratulations on that. And when can a person come out to play? Is there a specific paintball season?
We play all year long. The only time we don't play is deer hunting season.
Okay.
Can you imagine why?
I can only imagine why.
Right, we usually let the neighbors come in and
Right.
patrol the grounds after that. But in the wintertime we play, you usually wear more gear. You have a different formula in the paintballs, a little bit of antifreeze in there, some glycol, if you will.
Okay.
And yeah,
So you don't get hit by frozen paintballs. That would not be good.
Right. Busy time is October. That's our busy season.
Really?
So make sure you make your reservations early if you're going to plan a party in October.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. So, I mean, do you feel like, do people continue playing at a pretty even rate, like throughout the winter time?
You'd be surprised.
Wow.
They do.
Wow.
And it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm out there. If you're going to show up, I'll be out there. It's action.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets you out of the house for sure. It gets you out of that cabin fever. So compared to, let's say, the family woods or the family farm, a lot of folks just like to rent a couple of paintball guns and go out on the family farm or whatever. What makes playing at a professional field like yours better?
Professional is right. Well, we're insured, so you're not going to
Sure.
get hurt. Another thing that's important is that you have a referee providing the right playing area, and he's going to keep an eye on you, making sure you're playing safe. Another thing that's important that we have is the chronograph, a radar. The radar will make sure that all your guns are shooting the same speeds. Your referee will have extra tanks to make sure that you're playing the game. You're going to see a lot of action. The field at home, go ahead and play it, but make sure you have the right equipment.
Yeah, let's talk to us about some of the equipment that
Look,
you got
I have
here.
safety goggles here.
Right.
The thing that you got to really be concerned about, the most important piece of equipment is the safety goggles.
Right.
You don't have this, you might as well not be playing, you're going to get hurt.
Right.
One of our first rules of playing paintball at Apocalypse Paintball or anywhere should be to have the goggles.
Right.
I mean, you can't be a spectator even without these goggles. You take one to the eyeball, you're done.
Right, yeah.
All right. Then, of course, the next best piece of equipment is the barrel plug.
Okay.
This will go on the end of your gun. It's just a piece of rubber.
Sure.
And it plugs the paintballs from coming out.
Sure.
There's also a barrel sock. I think I have the barrel sock here. Regardless, that goes on there. Here's a CO2 tank.
Okay.
Let me fill these up. This is your propellant that would go into the gun.
Yeah.
And the barrel bag looks like this. This will go on the end of your gun.
Okay.
And it catches any paintballs that come out.
Sure.
Pretty simple device, huh?
So, when would you put this? When is the time that you put this in the barrel of your gun?
When you're in the staging area, when you're setting up and loading up, this will be in the end of your gun. When you walk onto the field, you'll take this out and you can shoot. You're in the hot zone. You're ready to shoot and fire.
Sure. Okay. So
And then when you come off the field, you're putting that thing back in the end of your gun, or you get yelled at.
Right.
Which is a pleasure of my job, getting yelled at customers for not following safety rules.
You enjoy that part of your
perk.
job. That's a perk. So, what types of things do we need? What types of equipment do you rent for beginners? Real quick before we go.
All right, we got jerseys. We got triple pouches that hold extra paint. When you show up, all you really need to do is have shoes.
Okay.
And a wallet.
Sure.
All right, you got to pay to get in.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Right, that's it.
Yeah. But you probably want to be clothed in some way. I mean, what about jackets and stuff in the
We can play
wintertime?
shirts and skins if you want to, but the more layers, the better. We do offer the rental clothing.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Well, Adam Gebert from Apocalypse Paintball, thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure being here.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. Don't go away. We've got more Talk of the Town coming up right after this. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest is Amy Johnson from Madison Essential Magazine. Amy, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us today. So, talk to us a little bit about what inspired the creation of Madison Essentials Magazine.
Well, Madison Essentials Magazine basically started because we wanted to put together a magazine publication that would talk about our community, people, places, and things. And it's really features-based. So Madison Essentials Magazine also started initially as Madison Originals Magazine.
Yes.
We had a partnership with the Madison Originals Restaurant Organization for the dining portion of the magazine, and then we would include additional community information. That partnership, while we're still supportive, is no longer, and we are still promoting those businesses as well as other businesses that are in the restaurant area.
Okay, very cool. And I thought that sounded familiar, the Madison Originals, so that sounded more familiar. And so how long have you guys been doing the magazine? You know, when did it start as the Originals, and how long have you been doing it?
We were actually as the Originals for about 10 years.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
we just made the switch at the beginning of 2015 to
Right.
Essentials.
Right.
So, and we also changed to the name Essentials because we wanted to emphasize to the community how important the people that we have in each issue are to what makes our community what it is.
Can you give us an example of what's a typical feature that's covered in the magazine, and also, do you have a personal favorite at all?
We have some regular features, so we still do feature different dining establishments. We feature retail businesses. We regularly feature a nonprofit organization, artists. We have a home segment each issue, things to do. Probably my own personal favorite would be the arts, because it's just my own personal favorite.
Sure, sure, yeah, absolutely. So obviously the types of people who are reading this magazine, hopefully, are residents and then visitors or tourists. What do you hope residents, people from the Madison area, will learn from reading this publication?
Well, I think even if you live here and you're familiar with the people or businesses that we feature, we're trying to tell the story behind the business or organization. And hopefully we're letting you know something you didn't know about it, especially with some of the nonprofits too. Actually, for a while we were featuring different historic locations throughout the area, and you know, they'd be places that people would drive by but didn't think anything about them and didn't
Right.
know much about them.
Sure.
So we're hoping that what we do for people who live here is sort of open their eyes a little bit, because it's really easy to just sort of go about your business without really thinking about the different things in the community.
And there's so many places to discover. I mean, it's, you know, Madison's not a huge city, but it's bigger than a lot of people even realize who live here. And I've lived here most of my life, and I find myself when I'm out driving to meet somebody somewhere
Right.
that, you know, there are places that I've never been to in this city before. And
Right.
so I think it's really cool that you're kind of covering that and giving people that sort of background knowledge of the story behind some of those places.
Right.
So what about visitors and tourists? What can they expect to learn from something like this?
The magazine's been very popular with tourists and visitors.
Right.
Even the university asks us for copies to give to people who are visiting there.
Sure.
Because people who are coming to the area really want to know what is, you know, what there is in Madison that they're not going to find in other places. So because we're sort of features based and everything we feature is local, so they're not things you're going to find in other communities.
Right.
People really like to pick it up, and you know, it helps them figure out what they're going to do while they're here.
Yeah. Now, really quickly before we go, can you talk to viewers about, first of all, how often is this published? How often do you publish a new edition? And is there a way to subscribe, and where can readers
Sure.
get copies?
Sure. We actually publish quarterly, and you can pick up a printed version at over 150 locations throughout the greater Madison area, most of those locations in Madison. And then also you can read it online. There's a digital version online, which you can subscribe for free to get that, and whenever any issue comes out, we would notify you that it's out.
So this is a free publication?
It's all free.
Very nice. We like free around here.
We want to make it as easy for people to access the information as possible.
Absolutely. Well, Amy Johnson from Madison Essentials Magazine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Be sure to look for it. It's all around town, 130 different locations, you said?
Over 150.
Over 150 different locations around town. Don't go away. There is more Talk of the Town coming up right after this. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Jack Osbourne, son of heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne TV personality, has been in the spotlight for many years. He's now turning the spotlight on a topic that is very important to him, multiple sclerosis. He's joined now by Miss Kentucky 2014, Ramsey Carpenter, and she also has been diagnosed with the disease. They both have relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis, and they're unveiling a new episode of You Don't Know Jack About MS. Here to talk about that today are Jack and Ramsey, and we want to welcome you to Talk of the Town, guys. How are you today?
Doing really well. Thanks for having us.
So I'm very excited to talk to you both and about an important topic. So Jack, first of all, talk to us a little bit about your diagnosis with MS. And it was actually 3 years ago, correct?
Yes, yeah. Just a little over
so
3 years.
Tell us how this has affected your life since then.
You know, I think if you kind of lay it all out, I think it's affected it in a more positive way. You know, it's forced me to be, well, for one, very grateful for the position I'm in health-wise. And, you know, but it definitely at the time was turned my world upside down. My daughter had just been born. We were kind of, the whole family was in a high, and the next thing you know, I'm in hospital being diagnosed with MS. So it was a pretty heavy, sobering time. But once I educated myself and learned about what MS really was, because I really had no idea, and got on a treatment that worked, you know, things started to kind of, you know, shift. I realized that, you know, it can be a manageable disease as long as I manage it to the best of my ability. You know, I have to make it a priority.
Absolutely, and you've done a wonderful job of that, and what a difficult diagnosis, but I commend you for turning it around and getting involved in this campaign. And Ramsey, I want to talk to you a little bit about your diagnosis. So when were you actually diagnosed with the disease, and what made you get involved with Jack in this campaign?
I was diagnosed on August 25th, 2010, after experiencing symptoms since back in at least May of 2010. So I was finally given that hard news of, Ramsey, you have multiple sclerosis. So I looked into it a little bit more, and of course there was that brief period where everything was just, you know, worry and stress as far as, what am I going to be able to do with this? It's degenerative, it's incurable, I don't know what to expect. But I decided to change that into, what can I do? Because through the knowledge that I did gain, I realized that I was one of the more fortunate cases. So I wanted to do as much as I could to spread awareness, working with the National MS Society, and then as Miss Kentucky, being able to use multiple sclerosis awareness as my personal platform, I reached a greater audience and a lot more people with that. And that's when I was contacted and asked to come and partner and be incorporated with Jack with his campaign.
Well, I'm so glad that you did. And Jack, let's talk a little bit more about this campaign, You Don't Know Jack About MS. So this is a campaign and docuseries. Tell us a little bit more.
Sure. So a few years ago, I partnered up with Teva Neuroscience, and we decided we were going to do an awareness campaign. But we wanted to stray away from the typical PSA and, you know, very serious, kind of somber, you know, ways of getting people to kind of turn on to what MS is. So we went down the road of creating these kind of infotainment webisodes that initially followed me in my day-to-day as I was kind of newly living with MS and kind of my road to, you know, to kind of a stable life. And as things evolved, you know, the campaign has grown and the website has grown. You know, we're now shining the spotlight on other individuals and kind of trying to tell their stories and broaden our subject matters. And it's really kind of picking up speed. You know, we're becoming a very, you know, what I think is a great tool and resource for people who, you know, are newly diagnosed or individuals who might have friends or family who are newly diagnosed.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad that you've put this together. And real quick before we go, Ramsey, any advice that you would give to others that are newly diagnosed with MS?
I do. First and foremost, realize that you're not the only one out there. At times it might feel like you are, but you're not. There are a lot of us out there who are experiencing multiple sclerosis ourselves. And so make sure that you also form a great relationship with your neurologist. That's the person who's best going to understand really what's going on with you and your type of MS. And through that, they'll be able to get the best therapy form that's going to work best with your lifestyle. And as far as lifestyle goes, make sure that you're trying to eat things that are great for you, get plenty of exercise, get your rest, because taking care of your body the best that you can is going to help your experience and your life with MS go much better. Have a great support system, which will be your friends and your family. Feel free to lean on them and don't hesitate to talk to them about what you're experiencing. But probably one of the most important things too is to try to stay positive. Worrying and being stressful isn't going to do you any good. So just try to think about what's going on, what you can do, and what to look forward to, and just try to keep that positive aspect going on in your life. And I'll share my personal mantra, one that I borrowed and I really love, and that's one they can use too, and that is, I have MS, MS does not have me.
Wow, well that's a powerful statement to end on, Ramsey. Thank you so much for your advice, and both of you for staying positive and shedding light on this disease. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was great chatting with you.
Please stick around. We're going to be back with more Talk of the Town right after this.
Hey folks, welcome back to Talk of the Town. If you're an avid watcher of CW57 and our restaurant show, you are sure to recognize our next guest. We are joined now by Barry Levinson, curator of the National Mustard Museum in Middleton. Barry, welcome to Talk of the Town.
Thank you. Yeah, we've got a big event coming up Saturday, August 1st. It's National Mustard Day.
Now, is that, and I have to ask this, is that something that is on the radar across the country that you're a part of, or did you create that yourself?
I did not create it. It has been around for a long time, and what makes this Mustard Day special, it is our 25th. We've been doing it 25 years, quarter of a century. Boy, does that make me feel old.
You've been doing it 25 years.
Right, and it existed before then. It was kind of dormant, and we were asked to take it on. So we've got a lot of new things going on. We have a new game called Mustard Pitch that you're going to try your hand at.
All right, I'm happy to do that.
I think you can see our new celebration shirt design.
Sure.
The shirts are going to be ready in a couple of days, in time for Mustard Day, so come on out and get your 25-year episode, is what we call it. There's going to be free hot dogs, free Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
Sure.
We are raising money for the nonprofit museum and also lovedane.org, which is a grassroots organization that provides support to families with disabled adults. And they will also be receiving some of the proceeds from the hot dog donations and also the many games that we're playing. We have live music, a lot of great food. Culver's has whipped up a batch of frozen mustard custard.
No kidding.
Really, we just picked it up at the corporate headquarters. The chef created it. It's fabulous. You're going to try that out there.
So this has been tested. This recipe has been tested now.
This has been tested.
We're not going to be the guinea pigs if we go out there on August 1st.
Oh,
then.
no.
All right.
It's really, really good.
All
there
right.
are a lot of games. It's a family-friendly event. And it does get national attention.
Okay.
International attention. We've done interviews with radio stations in Australia, in England, really all over the world. They pay attention to the fact that we celebrate National Mustard Day.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
It's a big day. It really is.
Saturday, August 1st.
Saturday, August 1st from 10 to 4.
Okay.
Come on out there. The Wienermobile is going to be there, of course.
Of course.
Very important that we have the Wienermobile there because we are grilling Oscar Mayer hot dogs. And it is great for everyone. Family. And our new game is called Mustard Pitch.
Okay.
And you can
so
see,
I'm going to try this out today.
You're going to try it out. So go over there and see how you do.
All right.
And
I'm going to go behind
break
camera.
the table,
All right.
not my table.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, here we go.
Let's see. How are you doing?
I'm standing behind the camera here.
Right.
And I'm going to kind of bump into Ellie, our director here, but that's okay. And
That's
then,
okay.
Here we go. One,
see how you
two,
do.
3. Air ball!
Air ball!
All right, do I get a
We're gonna
second
try?
try?
It again. You know, Mustard Day, we'll have about 6,000 or 7,000 people. The streets are closed. A lot of great food. The Roth grilled cheese truck, or their cheese truck on the go. All right, let's
All right,
give
here
it
we go.
another shot.
One,
Here we go.
2, 3.
You got them all! Woohoo! You won it.
So what do I win?
What? You're going to win a big prize. You come on out and you'll see what the prizes
I have to
are.
come out to see what it is.
That's right. Well, we owe you a prize. That's great. So it's not that hard. Everyone can do it. We've got games for the whole family. We've got mustard ring toss, fishing for mustard, mustard painting, mustard bowling, a lot of things you can do with mustard, a very versatile condiment. Some people often ask, you know, for the hot dogs, what if you want ketchup? No. Well, you know, it's like this is National Mustard Day, folks.
Right,
so
right.
ketchup is not allowed. If you insist on it, it's $10 a squirt.
$10. And how big of a squirt do you get?
Well, you get a squirt of it because figure it as a tax on your bad taste. Because, as Dirty Harry said, nobody puts ketchup on a hot dog.
Dirty Harry said that.
That's right. And of course, we'll be singing the Poop on You fight song all day.
And how does that go?
On our hot dogs, on our bratwurst, mustard is so cool. Never mayo, never ketchup, they're against the rules.
You rah-rah!
Gleaming gold and mellow yellow, smooth, rough, sweet, and hot. Fight, poop on you, we'll fight and eat some lunch. Don't worry, there's more musical entertainment out there. The Red Hot Horn Dogs, the Evan Riley Band, the Poop on You Accordion Band. This will be a lot of entertainment. Kids are people too, fun games for children. So come on out, National Mustard Day, August 1st, Saturday, 10 to 4. Check us out on the website, mustardmuseum.com, or give us a call. We'll give you more information.
Awesome. Barry Levinson, curator of the National Mustard Museum, talking about National Mustard Day happening on August 1st from 10 to 4 over at the National Mustard Museum on Hubbard Avenue in Middleton. That's all the time we have for Talk of the Town. Thank you, Barry, for coming on today.